Hey, and welcome to Girl Be Free, a podcast designed to help women get unstuck and cultivate the life you want on your terms. I'm Siobhan, your host, and I'm passionate about empowering women to live their best life. Each week, you'll hear pep talks that will inspire and push you to take action so you too can start to be free and live the life you want. You can learn more about me at BeFreeProject.com. Now let's jump into the show. This episode of the Girl Be Free podcast is being sponsored by the Be Free Inner Circle, an exclusive online community where positive, like-minded women gather, connect, support, and learn how to cultivate the life they deserve. The Be Free Inner Circle membership includes live monthly group coaching calls and office hours, masterclasses and workshops that will cover topics such as consistency and discipline, self-care, and creating a vision for your life, just to name a few. A resource library where you can print out articles, worksheets, and workbooks. A book club so that we have a space to discuss some of our favorite books. And the most important part is accountability and community support from women who are on the same wavelength as you and that are on a similar path who wants to be free. And a bonus feature, every member of the Be Free Inner Circle will have access to my live in-person monthly Be Free meetups where you'll be able to view live stream right from your computer screen. So I know you're excited and you want to be a part of the Be Free Inner Circle. So don't worry, I got you covered. Just go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com to learn more and sign up today. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Girl Be Free podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan, where I'm going to inspire and motivate you to show up for yourself. This week, I am loving Lone deodorant, and that's spelled Lone. And I've been using this deodorant for at least 2 years, I would say. I learned about it from my bestie in my head, Hey Friend Hey. Just love her so much. She has a podcast called The Friend Zone, and she has shared it on there. And I was trying different natural deodorants. I've tried Tom's, I've tried Trader Joe's brand, probably something else as well. But this one I actually love because it works. And also, Lone is such a dope company because it's owned by two sisters actually, and I think their mom helps them run it as well. And they were one of the sponsors for the Purpose Passion Action event I did in North Carolina last year with Alicia from the Alicia Nicole. And what I really love is that the customer service is stellar. And I really enjoyed talking to the mom and learning about the business. And please, let me say this is not a sponsored ad or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you what I love. But I really love that it's a family-owned business. The products are really good. Like I said, I've been using the deodorant for a few years, and it really works. And it is a natural deodorant, so it doesn't have all the junk in it that we shouldn't be putting on our body. And I will say this, when I talk about being free, like for me, it's a holistic approach. So I look at what I'm putting in my body, on my body, obviously in my mind and all that jazz. And so I'm constantly just working on being better. And also, I don't even know if I talked about my diet before, but I have a pescatarian diet and I go in and out of doing like vegan stuff, but most often it's a pescatarian diet. And so I'm just being mindful. And so I think it's really important that we pay attention to these things, right? And so if you haven't tried it out, definitely look into it. I'll drop the link in the show notes. They have 3 different fragrances, and I love that they recently updated their packaging. But they have lavender, mint, and unscented. And I have all of them. I purchased them myself. Again, they were one of the sponsors for our event last October, and the ladies got I think they got one deodorant, and then they also got a lip balm. And so many women have reached out to us saying how much they raved about it, how much they really love the deodorant. It was really working. So trust me, try it. Let me know what you think. I know everyone's body is different, but it really works for me. I'm enjoying it, and I even share some bars with my friends because I want them to try it as well, and they became customers. So that is what I am loving this week. So on to today's topic, which is listeners Q&A. So I did a post on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, you totally should, either at Be Free Project or, of course, the Girl Be Free podcast page. And I asked if any of the Girl Be Free listeners had a question that they wanted me to answer live on the podcast. And so I'm going to answer two of those questions today. And then if at any point, like if there's a topic that you want me to cover or you have a question for me, the best way to send that is I'm going to put a link in the show notes, and there's a form that you can complete. And when I say complete, it's like really what's your name if you want to share it, what topic, and what's your question. It's really that simple. And then you click submit, or you can shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. You can send me a DM and I'll respond to that as well. But I do want to start including my listeners into the podcast. So if you have questions and something that you want me to cover, definitely reach out to me. But two questions this week. So the first one comes from Jeanette. And she says, how to truly practice gratitude deeper than the go-to responses like my life, my job, etc. So what she's saying is, how do I practice gratitude on a deeper level? This is a really great question because I have been practicing gratitude for some time now. I think I may have shared this before, but I every day I write down at least 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I'll write that in my journal, or maybe I'll write it in a note on my phone or something like that. And each day I try to challenge myself to think of something different. So I'm not just saying thank you for waking up this morning or thank you for my family. Like, I like to think about gratitude on a deeper level. And so I think that it is important to do that and not just look at the surface level stuff. And then when you start practicing gratitude, like just going deeper in your practice, you realize that number one, it'll make you happier, right? And more content with yourself. And then it'll also boost your mood because you're not so focused on the negative things that's happening around you, but you're being mindful of what's happening, even the small things that can really just brighten your mood just by being grateful for those things. So it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small and just paying attention and being mindful. So I remember I did a post in the Be Free Inner Circle, and I challenged the group for the last month. That was one of the days for our theme, or one of our theme days, which was to share what you're grateful for. And I didn't want people just to share like the surface level stuff, but think deeper and don't just keep writing the same stuff week after week. Like, what are you really grateful for? And just kind of thinking a little bit deeper on that. And so for me, one thing that I am deeply grateful for, and I'm just thinking about this in the moment as I'm speaking, is I'm grateful that I'm in my purpose. And I'm grateful for that because that allows me to speak to you right now because I'm doing something that I know I'm supposed to be doing, right? I think about just being grateful for, like the other day, I was able to go for a bike ride at 11 o'clock in the morning with my children on a beautiful sunny day. I am grateful for that because I remember when I was working for corporate and I just wanted freedom with my time to do what I wanted to do. And now that I'm able to do that I am very grateful. So even when I was riding my bike, I'm like, I am very grateful for this moment. Like, I am building these memories with my children, and I'm grateful that I'm in this space that we can just ride our bikes before noon on a beautiful day all around our community and just enjoy the time together. Like, I'm grateful that I have that opportunity. And some of the other things, I'm grateful for sunshine. Sun brightens my mood. I love to feel the heat on my skin. I love getting a tan. I just love the sun. It just lights me up inside. So when it's shining bright and we're having beautiful weather, I tell God that, hey, I'm thankful. I am grateful for the sun shining today. Like, this means a lot because it just makes me feel good. Because, when it's gloomy and rainy and snowy, if you live in parts of the country where it's snow like I do, it does something to your mood. So when the sun is shining bright, I am forever grateful. And gratitude can become very mundane if you just say the same thing over and over again, like grateful for your family. Like, think about, okay, what are you grateful for about your family? Is it a conversation that you've had with someone? Is it the relationship that's blossoming because you healed from past wounds? Like, think more specifically when it comes to gratitude. So, not just like, okay, I'm grateful for my husband and my children. No, I'm grateful that my husband and I have been married for 15 years and we're able to communicate on a different level. Or I'm grateful that I'm able to spend time with my children and that they are coming into their own. Like, just get specific, and then that will challenge you to just get deeper with your practice. And something else to consider is to be mindful, to slow down and just take life in around you. So even just going for a walk and listening to the birds sing, like right now, even though it's the evening, I hear the birds chirping outside, or being grateful for the flowers, being grateful that you're able to see and that you can see color and you can see the beautiful flowers growing, or that you can hear, right, and listen to this podcast, or you can hear your children laugh because that makes you feel good inside. Like, I think it's really, when it comes to gratitude, honestly, I think it's a mindset shift, and just really, yes, I'm grateful and thankful for these things in my life, but if I think about it a little deeper, this is why I'm grateful for that. I read this quote online by Brene Brown. It says, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. So that means that there's always something beautiful happening. And if we just slow down and we're mindful and we're paying attention, then we can be grateful for more, right? Because of what we're experiencing in the moment. So I have a few questions that I want you to think about, that I found on this website. I lost the link, but the website was called Holstee, Holstee. I did not say the link, so forgive me. But as I was doing some research for this episode, these were 4 questions that the author suggested that you ask yourself when it comes to deepening your gratitude practice. Number 1, what am I grateful for today? Number 2, what inspired me today? So just think about, as you're going through your day, what inspired you? What did you really connect with? What did you read maybe online that really touched your soul? Are you grateful for that? Um, just something to consider. Number 3, what advantages have I received in my life? So looking at your life overall, like, what are you deeply grateful for? What have you received that has made a positive impact in your life? What have you let go of that has made an impact in your life? What relationships have shaped you into the woman that you are today? Right? So I'm reading these questions, but now I'm adding on to them. And then the last one is, who has supported me along the way? So when you think about the relationships that you have with your friends and your family, your coworkers, even yourself, like, who has shaped your being, and why are you grateful for that person? Right? What did they do that stood out to you that you really appreciate? So I read this article and it said 4 steps to deeper gratitude. And this article link I do have. So I will share it in the show notes, but it's 4 steps to deeper gratitude. And number 1, it says recognizing. So being aware, right? What is happening in the moment? So, of course, we're always so busy and we're on the go and we're just doing, doing, doing. But I want you to take time to really be present. And I'm saying this to myself as well, because I do a lot, always moving and all that jazz. And I'm trying to be more mindful of, okay, how do I feel right now? Like, even like, so I'm just going to practice right now. So I'm sitting at my desk. I can hear the fan going. I can hear myself talking into this mic. I feel my feet on the carpet and how soft it is. So being present in the moment, right? And then so recognizing the things that are happening around you and being mindful and present And then you can start to think about, okay, well, why am I thankful for this? So I'm thankful that I am able to share my message and my gift with the world through this mic. I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for all the positive feedback that I get week after week about the podcast. That is something that I'm grateful for. And that women are reaching out to me saying, thank you so much for this episode because it helped me in this way. I am grateful that my message is resonating with other people. So I want to give you another example, because I just gave you one. And I just talked about this too I did an Instagram live and a Facebook live yesterday. But when someone compliments you, just receive it and just say thank you. You don't have to say, oh, like for example, if someone compliments you on your hair, you don't have to say, oh girl, I ain't washed it in 5 days. You don't have to tell anyone that. All you have to do is say thank you. And then be grateful that that person took time to compliment you on whatever they liked about you that day. Something else to think about is to pay attention to small things or how people show random acts of kindness to you. So if someone holds the door for you, that's something to be grateful for. If someone pays it forward and buys your coffee in the morning, or if you find a good parking spot, like thank you, like I'm saying thank you like all the time. So just, I think that that's a good practice. Number 2, relaxing and receiving. So some of us are so, because maybe life has just dealt us some bad cards, or so many things could have happened, that it's hard for you to receive kindness or compliments or someone doing something nice to you. So I want you to relax and start to be open to receive more good of what God wants to share with you, and allow people to give to you, whether that's money, whether that's, I don't know, whatever. Like allow people to give, kind words, and don't dismiss it. Again, all you have to do is just say thank you. And that's a practice that we all have to do. Number 3 is relishing. So I don't think we allow ourselves to really relish in the good things of life. I think that, okay, let me just say me. I am guilty of really, like I was saying earlier, on moving and moving and moving and always on to the next thing, instead of pressing pause and just kind of living and saying, okay, what I'm doing is really great. And I talked about this on Facebook and Instagram yesterday as well about, and kind of piggybacking off of last week's episode about knowing your worth, right? And so I have to be mindful of the words that come out of my mouth, about like when someone says, oh, your work is really impacting my life, or I love what you're doing. I'm so grateful that you have the Be Free Inner Circle and the meetups and all the things that you're doing. Like, instead of me saying, oh, it's nothing, or, oh, like, no, this is great. Thank you for acknowledging and recognizing the work that I'm doing, because I work really hard and it takes a lot of my energy to put this out into the world, right? So I think it will be good for all of us to kind of relish in the good things and take up space, and know that it's okay to take up space with the good that we're putting out in the world. Allow yourself to enjoy life. Like, I think, and this should be a whole nother episode, especially when I learn to do it. But playing more. Kids play, well, I don't know, my kids love video games and all that stuff. But we used to, back in the day, we used to play and have fun outside. And I want to incorporate more play back into my life. Like just doing things that really bring me joy. So I will say, yes, I am doing that because I like to color. I have a coloring book. And then I just gave in to buying a bullet journal because my best friend just raved how great it was. And I'm not an artsy person, so when you look up bullet journal on Pinterest, you see all of these artsy doodles and that is not my space at all. However, there is a minimalist approach, and that is what I'll be taking. So that's more play for me because I'm going to be learning how to bullet journal, and I bought some really pretty pens. That I just went all on a tangent. However, incorporating more play and having fun in your life is important, and just enjoying the time that you have and not being so like working. Like, let's enjoy life too and carve out time to just play and have fun. And then the last one is, and this is 4 steps to deeper gratitude, is responding. So going beyond just saying thank you. So when someone does something, um, recognize it, receive it, relish in it. You can genuinely respond and say, instead of so quickly responding like thank you can allow yourself to experience that good feeling. Like we all like when someone compliments us or it makes us feel good, right? So allowing yourself to have that space to experience that feeling and growing in that, right? One thing, I got this from a movie and I cannot remember the movie, so please forgive me. But I remember it was a part of the movie and they were talking about gratitude or something. And every time something good happened in the actress' life, she would say, "Thank you more, please." And so I've been saying that, "Thank you more, please." So every time, y'all, every time I get a sale, whether it's whatever it is, every time I get the little ching on my phone, I say, "Thank you more, please." And that's me telling the universe, "Thank you. I received this and I want more of it." And so now I'm trying to incorporate that into other things. Like when I'm spending time with my friends and we're laughing, we're having a good time. "Thank you more, please. I want more of this because when I'm in this space, it makes me feel so good." Um, so thank you more, please. I really enjoy saying it. It brings a smile to my face even when I say it. So, Jeanette, I hope that answers your question. I know that was a long response, but I want to do a little research and kind of share my stuff too, and hopefully that will be helpful. Jeanette is in my Be Free Inner Circle, so I know you're going to listen to the podcast, and you can let me know if I touched on what you wanted me to, or if you need me to elaborate, we can go even deeper. And again, if you have questions for me, you can DM me on Instagram. If you're in the Be Free Inner Circle, you can ask them there. Also, you can, again, there's going to be a link to a short little form that you can complete in the show notes if you have a question or if you have a topic that you want me to cover. All right, so the next question, and I cannot remember the young lady's name, and I wasn't able to find it before I started recording, but I met her in Columbus about a month or so ago. And so we started connecting on Instagram, and she wanted me to talk about financial growth. Now, I will say financial growth is not my space. However, I did do a little research and found some things that I think will be helpful, especially because I know she is a millennial. And so I guess my biggest thing is define what you need to be financially stable in your life, right? So sometimes we can look at what other people or what society has said success is. So once you make 6 figures, you're successful, or once you become a millionaire or multimillionaire, then you're successful. Well, you got to think about what is financial growth for you, what is financial stability, because maybe to be comfortable in your life, maybe that means you're debt free and you can live off $50,000 and be completely fine. For some, maybe you are debt free and you need 6 figures, or you need to become a millionaire like myself because you want to do so many things and help so many people and you need resources to do that. So I guess my first thing is define what financial stability looks like for you. Like, what do you really need to be successful financially? So depending on how much money that is. So and then define what success looks like to you, right? And for me, yes, I feel like right now I am successful in different areas of my life. One thing, though, I do want to become debt free. And my student loans, I just feel like, y'all, I'm just so over them. Oh, I'm so over them. But I do want to become debt free. And so once I get to that level, that will be success for me, right? So you have to define that for yourself. And then another thing when it comes to financial growth is just to be mindful on how you're spending your money, how you're saving your money, how you're investing your money. Like, think about all of these things, right? I know when I was working, and I don't know what clicked. I guess God was just speaking because he knew what was coming up. But I got into this mindset of, okay, I've been listening to Dave Ramsey. I want to be debt free. And so I started aggressively paying down my car note and stashing money away so that I can begin to pay down my student loans. And I didn't know at the time that we were getting laid off or anything like that. Something clicked like, start paying more on your car note. Like pay two times, pay not two times more. I wasn't balling like that. But, just make sure you're paying a significant amount more than the minimum. And so I started doing that. I started stacking my savings. And when I lost my job, I lost my job in October of 2013. My I had made I had paid so far in advance on my car note that another payment wasn't due until June that following year. And that was so good for me because it provided a cushion. So again, God had already put this in me with Be Free Project well before I knew it. And he, obviously knew everything that was going to happen. And so I felt like that was a great way for me because that allowed me time and space to kind of figure out what my next move would be. And I didn't have to be stressed over, paying all these expenses. So that's another thing too, like reducing your expenses as much as you can. So do you need cable? Do you need the highest cell phone bill? Do you need the most expensive phone? Do you need to go out to eat and all these different things? Like if you really want to grow your finances, you have to cut back on your expenses, obviously pay down your debt, and then figure out how can you start to invest your money in spaces that it will grow for you. And again, let me just say, I am not a financial guru by any means. That is not my lane, but I just know a little bit, and then I did do a little bit of research. Okay. So I did want to share a few resources for you to check out. So I follow the Budgetnista on Instagram, and I really, really like her platform. She's all about like financing, or excuse me, getting your money together and budgeting. So Budgetnista, and then also Tanya Rapley from My Fab Finance. So those are two women that I follow on social media that's all about like getting your money together. And then Dave Ramsey, he has a podcast. He has a book called The Total Money Makeover that I read, and I'll link to that in the show notes. But he is really good. And it's all about like getting out of debt. And basically his tagline is like, live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. I know I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. So, and then there's a couple apps that you can check out. So, and I'm going to drop this link in the show notes as well. So make sure that you check it out for these resources. But there's an article that I came across, and it's 15 money saving apps. But a few that caught my attention right away was Mint.com, Acorn, and Digit. And so they all are pretty similar with like saving money and managing your money and all that jazz. And then you can kind of see which one works best for you. Again, I'll put that link in the show notes. So hopefully, ladies, that was helpful. Let's keep this conversation going by following my Instagram page, Girl Be Free Podcast, and let me know what you think about the episode, your biggest takeaway, all that. And then this week I know I said a few episodes back, and I'll share when I remember, but some music that I am loving. So, and I don't know if you pronounce her, is it her or Her? I don't know, but she has a new project out, and let me find out what the name of it is. But I am really enjoying it. I know she had that one song with Daniel Caesar that was really good, and she just released a new project. And it's titled I Used to Know Her. And it's her EP, and it just was released. And it's really good. It's about 6 songs on there. And she she did a song to Lauryn Hill's. She remade a song to Lauryn Hill's original song, Everything Is Everything. So is it Everything Is Everything? Or is it something else? I don't know. But check out that album. And then another song that I am enjoying is by Diana Gordon, and it's called Moment to Myself. And I saw Valencia. I follow her on Instagram. Love her page too. She posted in her Instagram stories. And so, again, this song is called Moment to Myself. And it just really sat with my soul. So I'll link both of those songs in the show notes. And then your action step for this week, for 1 week, I want you to write down 5 things that you are grateful for without repeating anything from the previous day. So get you a journal and write down 5 things you are grateful for. And I don't want you to repeat anything from the previous day. And then I want to know, like, connect with me on social, send me an email or what have you, and let me know how did that feel like, and share some of the things that you were grateful for. So I want you to do that for 1 week. A few announcements. The next Be Free meetup is happening this Saturday, August 11th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There are, as of this episode, there are a few tickets left. So if you haven't got yours yet, definitely get that. And again, that's my in-person event that I have every month in Cleveland, where women network and have engaging, interactive conversations that challenges all of us to show up for ourselves. So that's happening this Saturday, August 11th. Let's see. The next event, y'all know I'm busy, right? August 25th, I will be in Columbus, Ohio at Zora's house. And I will be teaching a workshop from Stuck to Unstoppable that you do not want to miss. So tickets are still available for that. I'm excited to be starting to go on the road and take these events in other cities. So if you are in Columbus or willing to travel, please meet me there on August 25th. And that is a morning workshop. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to noon. Next is the Fearlessly She Summit. That's happening the weekend of September 7th through the 9th in Indianapolis. And tickets are still available. If you use the code BeFree15, you'll save 15% off your ticket. And I think that's all the announcements for now. September is really jammed packed for me. Even in August, I have 2 private salons that I'll be hosting meetups at. So y'all see, I am busy, but I'm excited because, as I was saying, I think I was saying it on Instagram yesterday, like, I'm doing what I love, and I'm just honored and grateful and blessed and all of that to be able to operate in this space of doing what I love and making an impact in the world. And I don't take that lightly. So please make sure that you're following the Girl Be Free podcast on Instagram. And if you're enjoying the podcast and you're really picking up what I'm putting down and you're ready to go to the next level and you feel like the podcast, I will say, is a starting point. If you want coaching, accountability, resources, articles, a book club, all the jazz, then meet me in the Be Free Inner Circle. That is where you're going to get the community support that steps away from the podcast and we go a little bit deeper. So you can meet me there, and you can go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Yeah, so that is everything that I have for you this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you ladies have been showing up by sharing so much feedback of what you're taking away from the podcast. Continue to do that. You can let me know on my personal page, which is Be Free Project, or the Girl Be Free podcast Instagram page. Share your comments, share the episode with your friends, snap a picture of it, text it, tweet it, Instagram, Facebook it, all of that. Help me to get the word out, especially if you're able to take something away from it. And then, as always, leave your comments and reviews on Apple Podcasts. That will be great. And then thank you so much for just tuning in week after week. Again, I don't take that lightly that you allow me to come into your ears every week and just share my information that I want to help you grow and that you're taking it and you're applying it. So thank you. Until next time, girl, be free. Thank you so much for listening. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling really fancy, go ahead and leave a review. Until next time, be free and live.